was arguably one of the wealthier people in the United States. But here is a black man, Bruce Llewellyn, before I get more on Reg Lewis, who came within an eyelash of owning the New York Yankees. See, years ago when Fay Vincent ascended to the position of commissioner of baseball, it didn't take Fay Vincent any time to throw George Steinbrenner of the Yankees out of baseball. Steinbrenner's coming back in March. The day after Fay Vincent tells George Steinbrenner of the Yankees to pack his bags, Bruce Llewellyn calls his secretary into his office. Secretary takes down the following letter, takes the letter, puts it in a FedEx envelope. FedEx is the envelope to George Steinbrenner. George Steinbrenner gets the FedEx envelope the next day, pulls out the letter, and the letter reads, "Dear George, write any dollar figure you want in the enclosed check. I must own the Yankees." Y'all hear what I said. Dear George, write any dollar figure you want on the enclosed check. I must own the Yankees. Steinbrenner says, no, they're not for sale. But getting back to Reg Lewis, one thing Reg Lewis did do, he was a paragon for business excellence for us. Here's a guy, went to Virginia State. From Virginia State, he specifically went to Harvard to study under a law professor by the name of Lewis Loss. Lewis Loss is an expert in leverage buyouts, LBOs. And see, Reg Lewis had a plan. He went to Harvard to study under the best, and he was going to take what he had and use it. He was going to take the knowledge that he was going to gain from Harvard and put it in action. So, you know, we have other capable leaders, particularly entrepreneurs. And it is up to us, I guess, writers like myself, or every chance that we can get to shine and let that light on these individuals where they can pass along this baton called success. See, you ask any track coach who has coached a relay race, the track coach will tell you that a relay race is either won or lost in the swift interchange it takes to pass the baton. In that swift interchange it takes to pass the baton between runner and runner, that will make up the critical difference of the race. Now, Black America has many swift and capable runners. Lane number 1, we got Oprah Winfrey. In lane number 2, we got John Johnson. In lane number 3, we got Earl Graves. In lane number 4, we got Inesta Proco. Black men and women who have run the race of their lives, all right? Who have run the race of their lives. They've come around the turn, they're coming down the straightaway, they're holding this baton called success and achievement, and we just have to make sure that there is another generation that is fit and focused in those lanes to take that baton. Hopefully, in the 50 years that Reg Lewis was here, we were able to do that.
I have a real simple, stupid question.
Yeah, no question is stupid. Unless I ask my wife for money. Yeah, I asked my wife for money. I said, "Pat, give me some money." She said, "I gave you $1 last week. What'd you do?" I know, can't take me anywhere. Go ahead.
Okay, you gave me the number. But my question is, and I like your book and always say, think, okay?
That's right.
Think big.
That's right.
I really do. I think really big and crazy. I think, but then I don't know how to do it. I think I'm going to be famous.
Okay.
But then I always sit back and wonder, you know, my dream is, like, I want to show for all famous people. And God has been opening that door for me. Like Gorbachev, Mandela, Jesse Jackson. I've met all of these people. But then I want to be famous. And I would like to write a book about, you know, I don't know. How do you even begin?
Well, it sounds like you're trying to find your area of excellence. And there's four keys that you can use to find your area of excellence. Number 1, you know, ask yourself these 4 critical questions in order to find your area of excellence. Number 1, you know, ask yourself, what is it that I love to do?
I love to drive.
Okay.
I really do. I love children.
What is it that I love to do? What do I have a passion for? What can I throw my whole heart and soul into? Yeah, question number 2. That's question number 2. Ask yourself, what would I do for free? What would I do without financial reward? What would I do without financial remuneration? Because when you're doing what you love to do, and you would do it for free, your work is your play. And if your work is your play, you'll never work a day in your life. See, the 2 times that I interviewed John Johnson, I noticed him at point blank range, and I couldn't tell when he was working and when he was playing. You see, it was totally symmetrical. I couldn't tell. Question number 3, ask yourself, what comes easy to me but difficult to somebody else? What do I do so effortlessly and so flawlessly? As Oprah Winfrey says, it's like breathing. And we all have these areas and these zones. And question number 4, ask yourself or ask your friends, your family, your neighbors, what do you see me as? What do you think I would be good at doing? You answer those 4 questions openly and honestly, you'll have identified your area of excellence. Now, here's the good news. The market pays superior rewards for superior performance. Any other questions?
How do you get to that superior performance? I mean, you have your idea. You know what you want to do. You might know how to get there, you might not. You know, how do you get that push, that drive? How do you go from one place to another blindly? Not necessarily not seeing, but I mean, just this is the way I have to go.
Yeah.
This is the way I have to go. I have to do it.
Well, I mean, first of all, you don't get involved in anything that you can't be excellent at it.
Right.
You don't get involved in anything that you can't be excellent at it. See, when you are excellent at what you are doing, you never have to worry about employment. You never have to worry about an income if you are excellent at what you're doing. If you are number 1 in your field, the market will seek you out. If you are number 1. I mean, for 6 or 7 years, I crisscrossed this country and I couldn't find a job with a roadmap. I mean, I did anything. I mean, one year I lived in Atlanta. One year I couldn't find any work in Atlanta while I'm engaged in this project. The only job I could find is in Chicago. And for 1 year, I lived in Chicago completely away from my family. And every other Friday when my boss from the consulting firm gave me my check, I put it in the mail and sent it back to my family. But now, you become excellent at what you're doing, people seek you out. I mean, I get hit up with scores of opportunity. Scores of opportunity. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, but how do you get into a position where people can see it?
Okay, I see what you're saying right now. It goes back to that age-old adage where practice makes perfect. Except that adage is wrong. Practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. If you're practicing anything but perfection, you're perfecting an error. So you set a goal. And when you take action on that goal, step back from that goal and ask yourself, how is my aim? How is my aim? If you set a goal to hit that bullseye and you throw the dart over here, you step back and you measure the difference. That's why I say in my book that your goals must be conceivable, goals must be believable, goals must be achievable, and last but not least, goals must be measurable. Because what gets measured gets done. What gets measured gets done. And you should make sure that you keep your goals in front of you at all times. I mean, you're sitting here listening to me right now. If I was to break in any of your homes or your apartments, I'm going to ask you this question to do it out. I'm not